Hey everybody, we're trying to jump back into a ranked draft today. We've been drafting best of 3 a bit of late, and chat has spoken, and we are going to do a best of 1 today. We are going to dive in shortly, but I want to thank my sponsor, Card Kingdom. Before we do, Card Kingdom is best of 3, best of 1, best of them all, best of the websites that sell Magic cards, if you ask me. They're the first place I go to check when I need something for my physical game, regardless of whether it's supplies or singles or a sealed product. I'm always happy to go and give Card Kingdom my business because I'm always happy with the result of my transaction. They stand by their products, they stand by their service primarily, and I know that they'll work with me. Like I bought like $60 worth of dividers that I thought was going to work for my collection management, and it wasn't going to work. I bought them from the digital store from cardkingdom.com, which you can get in the panels below. But I returned them to the brick and mortar store, and they're disconnected. They're not the same. I mean, they're kind of two different business entities operating together, and so technically you're not even supposed to return stuff to the store that you bought online. But this is Card Kingdom. Of course, they're going to help me out. They called upstairs, worked it out, and got my refund taken care of lickety split. And that's why I buy there. I know that if oops, I screwed up, this isn't what I needed, it's not right, I can go back to them and they'll help me make it right. So I appreciate that a lot from them. Now let's dive in and get a pack one, pick one. Oh, here also I'm going to get pack one, pick one up, and then I'm going to adjust my data at the bottom of the screen there. Best of 1 is real Magic. Let's not exaggerate here. And we are going to be 0-0. Probably take fires for the gems. We even have that's not going to help us to 4x. We already have 4, but it will give us some gems. Straight up best card in the pack is Savvy Hunter, but it's gold. Really not giving much up here. The opportunity cost on these gems is almost nothing. This is a really lousy pack. I mean, there's a Tome Raider. There's some expensive 5-drop knights that you would play in a knight deck but aren't a priority. And this Ranger that we've been talking about, how it's really not that great as far as these this cycle of 4 hybrid uncommons goes. I think we're going to take fires and go sideboard, not take fires and go deep, but I appreciate the okay, I'll leave it, but come on. What is the point of this? This seems so dumb to play in limited.
Some say I never heard of ya, a rap burglar.
Like, I don't know what it gets you. Like, are you trying, like, here's my issue. Like, what it gets you is the ability to cast stuff for mana you don't have, when you have it. Like, this just screams to me to be one of those cards that if you build around and don't get it, then you could be shooting yourself in the foot majorly. And if you build around it in such a way that you don't need it, then what is it even doing for you? Right, I don't know. Anyway, as far as this pack goes, yeah, I'm not. To me, this is here. I don't want it to distract from what the correct pick is, which in this case has got to be Bake. Outmuscle and Red Cap are also strong removal spells, but not like Bake. And didn't really pass any good black, so maybe starting to cut the black will be good. Foil King. Well, what I got turned out to be effectively. These things that come inside a deck box, they ended up being a bunch of these, which is too short for what I want. What I want is one that extends up much higher so that I can put they can extend above my cards and help me visibly see how the collection is sorted, but those fall down too low. I don't think this is better than Bake. It's cheaper, but 4 damage doesn't kill everything, and unless they're specifically playing red, you can't really play this before turn 4-ish anyway, unless you're hyper low to the ground. Outmuscle, I've never seen wheel. I don't think I've ever seen Outmuscle literally show up 9th or later, but it does go later than, you know, it goes 6th, 7th sometimes, maybe. That's my experience. I'm not going to deny yours. But I'm going to take Bacon Pie. Look at this, the double reward. This is the kind of thing you want in sealed. Then you build your blue-red draw deck. That's interesting, Mama. Yeah, I have a lot of those. Maybe I could just use those. It's an interesting idea, Mama. I don't think print runs are a thing, no. Certainly nobody's suggested they are, so I've kind of dropped that as a thing I pay attention to. I'm going to pull this one. This is an interesting place. We have a lot of choices here between, I'm going to call it Vandal and Ratter. I think Vandal and Ratter are what are getting the most support here. Is there anything else that you would even consider? The Cauldron as a stay open play, but I tend to want to lean into something powerful and see if it sticks. So let's go... I'm gonna go Vandal, Ratter, and Other. And if there's a strong vote for Other, we can talk about what the Other ought to be. I just think while there might be some support for an Other, I don't think it's gonna win in the voting. $11 for the Vandal, $8 for the Ratter. That's fair. I think maybe partly a tiebreaker here is that blue is a better color in general than red, and also, yeah, blue player is much better with black with the Bacon to a Pie if we want to play both. So yeah, I'm with chat. I'll go with Vandal. Instantly rewarded, and with another tough pick. I'm going to quickly pull this one too, see where people are at on Raven versus Lock. I don't think anything is even close to these two in here, but these are very close. Ravens being so weak against Mill and Big Green is a down real knock against it, but it's just fantastic against small creature attacks, and Drown is just generally great in this color pair. Sorry, Krauser. Wow, very close. Look at that. 10-9 Lock Raven. I am going to go... I was leaning Drown in the Lock, although this tends to be much better if you're actually doing the mill plan. You don't always have the capability to do much with this early. So yeah, it's very close. Those are the drawbacks. Like, this has its drawbacks too, right? The problem with Drown in the Lock is that absent a mill deck, you're not necessarily doing what you want to do with this until the mid-late game. And that's true. Another knock against it is this is gold. Ravens is just black. We could abandon the Vandal and still hold on to the Ravens. I think all of that is adding up to me to just go ahead and take the Ravens. The flexibility is worth it here. So let's take Ravens, but I don't blame you for voting Lock. I thought it was a very, very tight one, and the voting bore that out. Well, this isn't great. I didn't say please, didn't say suck, but Nothing else here is even, it's not even like we're like, oh, we're in the wrong colors, we wanted this righteousness, you know. I mean, although, you know, as usual, white is pretty open, Youthful Knight is good, Outflank is good. So we could even say, you know, take a Youthful Knight and bank towards a possible black-white deck or an Outflank. I just don't know if Please is whatever, but it is in in a color we already have. I'm going to take it, but it may have been correct there to just dip into white and see if that was going to stay open. Here we have 2 card drawing spells in the colors we're working on and a generic removal spell. I think we take the Well here, though. Well is excellent. Tempting Witch versus Corridor Monitor. I think we go with the Witch. Blue-black isn't necessarily like some kind of food train, but Witch could still be playable here. We've had lousy packs in general. Now I'm seeing like Trebuchet is like the best card here. Squire is decent. Is it possible that we're abandoning one of these 2 colors at this point? I don't think we need to take an Eye Collector or a Signpost Scarecrow, so we should just take the best card in a color we feel like we could end up in here. And so it's either speccing into red for the Trebuchet or white for the Squire. And I tend to agree that the bots are largely pushing white on us these days. So if we're going to spec on a alternate color, I think we should take the Squire for that reason. Although red is looking like it has some weak but playables here. I guess we'll take a turtle, though. This is not going well, though, folks. This is a really crappy start. Like, again, the packs have not been there for us, and it's showing. Do I take an Eye Collector on some sort of... I'm never impressed with this card. All right, I'll take Hengewalker. Ugh. Blah. Well, Egg made it back. Green seems untouched. Maybe we're supposed to be green. What do you mean we got mill? We got Eye Collectors. Well, where's this going to go? Certainly not loving where we're at. That helps. Obviously, that goes in any deck we have, and we're happy to windmill slam that. What are we hoping to wheel? Maybe a Witching Well comes around. Maybe a So Tiny. 1 black card in the pack, and it's Memory Theft. So, all right. Hey, look, we're a mill deck all of a sudden. Here's another Fairy Vandal. Can, of course, take the Folio and see if we can use that as our win con. Sleazy Griffin. Is there any chance we're not black? I suppose there is. Eye Collector isn't a real card here. Tempting Witch isn't a great card here. Revenge is quality, but not consistently amazing. Like, the only great black card we have is Bake. So let's keep that in mind and consider what else might go with the blue. Like, does that mean we take Trebuchet here, for example? Or, yeah, I have done blue-white flyer, you know. We could do, this probably wheels. We probably just take Sleazy, though. I mean, there's not much else here drawing us away. And yeah, red is, but I tend to agree with you, Krauser, that red could be open for the pivot, but I don't think for any of these cards over the Griffin. Do you mean blue-red or black-red? I'm not sure what you're... All right, let's take Griffin. Here's a runaway together. Opt. Didn't say please. We kind of want, maybe we'll wheel an opt. We wouldn't mind a opt in this deck for the Vandal. But I think we just want the runaway here over didn't say. Or, you know, we do have a Silver Flame Squire. We could add like a Guide Mother, but then we're getting really at cross purposes. So yeah, let's take a runaway together and maybe we'll find ourselves a keeper. Maybe they've just adjusted the bots to take keepers as though they are Umezawa's Jites or something. Didn't say please. Lucky Clover. We're not really doing a clovery thing here yet. It's you know, we have we don't intend to play this right now. We could still, but blue is the only thing we're kind of sold on. I think it's we're not, well, we have Folio Fancies that suggest we have a mill angle to the deck. But we could take Lucky Clover, because what does it cost us? It costs us a didn't say please. That's a pretty low cost. If we pick, let's say the next 2 packs had Secret Keepers, and then there were 2 Secret Keepers in pack 3, like we'd be thrilled to have a Clover. So right now Clover's not good, but the opportunity cost to give it a shot to be good is pretty low given what we take instead. It's just costing us a didn't say please. So I'm going to take it on spec and see if we can't find the tools to make it work. Into the story, just solid card draw versus these. I think I should take story here. All right, here's one of those aforementioned Secret Keepers. We'll pick that up now. Here's a didn't say please we can get behind. Maybe we'll be just mono blue. How about that? And the well comes back and the tiny comes back. So I think we're in the right color and sense of being blue. Do we need a second well or a first tiny? Given that we have Witching Well and Into the Story, I think we need to be on the tiny plan. Especially if we end up dropping black and like our removal suite is gone. I'm going to take second didn't say, or third didn't say over second sleazy. Really don't think Blue Mill is where you want a Ginger Brute. It's not really where you want a Jousting Dummy either, but if we had to fill in some 2s, you could do worse. So we'll take... I think we'll take the dummy, but hopefully we wouldn't play either of these. Brute is a nice blocker. What makes Brute a nice blocker? Why do you hate card advantage? I'm gonna put this in against other Brutes. I'm not playing Brutes just to be able to block other Brutes. I'm just going to try and make our plan work. We'll take Barrow Witches. Certainly not playing the Cottage. We're going to be... Ooh, that's perfectly playable 14th pick here. We can take Mirror Maid for the gems. We have 4 Mirror Maids. We don't really have... I mean, it copies artifacts or enchantments, so... It actually copies for us the Well, the Folio, Golden Egg, Clover if we end up playing it, Henge Walker, oh, so tiny. And so it actually ends up copying quite a few things. Yeah, and it can copy Oppo's stuff. If we do stick with a black side, we can just take another Bacon to a Pie. Doesn't really hurt to... pile on a little removal. An argument to be made for Frogify. I'm pretty unimpressed with this. It doesn't generally do what I want, but yeah, it's also hard to pass it. Like, I think we take the Mirror Maid as gems, and then we play it if it seems correct. Interesting again. We have more suggestions to keep in our black. We have Sir Conrad and Bake. And I'm going to pull that one. You could argue that Sir Conrad really asks for a lot of black, though, not only to cast, but to continue activating. But let's put this to a 15-second SYR or PIE, Sir or Pie? Could be a potato pie. Everybody loves Conrad. Yeah, Conrad Mills too, it's true. All right, I'll take Conrad. That's going to increase our black count such that we could just take Noble over Merfolk. Normal, like with where we were headed, I wanted to be heavy, heavy, heavy blue. And that kind of supports a Merfolk. But if we're going to do Bake into a Pie and Sir Conrad in the deck, we're going to need our black sources. And we could take the Noble. But I still kind of just want to take the Merfolk and have a backdoor into mono blue. Does that make sense? Or is this so much enough better that we should just be taking it? Maybe it's enough better that we take it. Like, I think we're going to run at least 7 swamps at this point. We're also going to wheel Merfolk. I'm going to take Noble because we're going to wheel Merfolk. That's the real reason to do it this way. Then we can just decide. All right, Epic Downfall, giving us some a little easier to cast removal in what has become clearly our second color. Maybe we wheel a Runaway together. We'll see. Swordmaster, Corridor Monitor. This is a better blocker in general, although this trades for more things. Heraldic Banner, I don't see us playing that. I don't know what it doesn't do enough for us, I don't think. Yeah, Double Folio is interesting. Well, Razor, when you're the mill deck, you kind of plan to get to 8 mana, so doesn't matter too much. This is just, I don't know. Oh, thank you. Let me change my stream title. Appreciate that. Forgot that I put it there yesterday on that setting. Here, I'll do a poll while I correct my thing. So monitor or smitten. I think we might wheel the monitor, but it doesn't always. You know, the jousting dummy? Nah, I think definitely we want the monitor if we're going to choose there. Get the Raider. It's not doing too much in this deck, but it replaces itself. It's fine. Theft is not part of our equation. All right, well, we are done on 1 Secret Keeper. So this is a pretty weak deck. I think this is what's happening to a lot of mill drafters right now too, is that you go into it, don't quite get the stuff you need, and then doesn't feel great. Yeah, we do have a folio, and the quad didn't say please if we want. Yeah, that's also the variance of packs. Like in 24 booster packs, there are something like an average of 2.7 something copies of a given common. So in the entire draft, you don't have any you shouldn't have an expectation that, oh, there's going to be 6 or 7 Secret Keepers in this draft. How many am I going to get? It's like, no, it's highly variable, and the average is much lower than most people think. Yeah, fruit is a reasonable consideration. We could vote that too, but we do have Into the Story, and we have Witching Well. So, and we have an opt. You know, it's not great draw, but is we have Folio. Technically is draw, but it's each player draw. But I think I'm in on Didn't Say Please. I think there's just enough draw that we don't need this. Although we could maybe. I'm gonna take the draw. It was a very close one, and this is why I did it, because I knew I was going to get another chance at a Didn't Say Please. We could take Prophet of the Peak just to have something at the high end, but I don't think we're not going to play another turtle. Let's give ourselves a profit opportunity. Yeah, Tactician, it goes super late. That's why so many people are ending up in white. It's the new open color on Arena, right? Yeah, we maybe were in the wrong colors. It felt like in second pack we were in the right place with blue, but then on a relative scale dried up a bit. So this deck is medium, but not worthless. Got 60 on the gem grind. I'll take a note of that before I forget. Right now I'm updating my spreadsheet. And this is going to be blue-black. And 0 gold, 750 gems, and we've ground 60 gems already. $10 cuts, and we are at 15, 18. Let's get it going. I don't think this is a witch deck. We're not making enough extra food to do that. So let's cut the witch. Let's cut the clover. I guess we have egg, but still, I don't think the witch is where we want to be. We cut the turtle. Probably the prophet. This is not really how we're trying to win or get there. How are we winning? Grinding them out. That's part of the problem with the deck. Like, our win conditions are effectively Secret Keeper plus 4 Didn't Say Please plus Folio plus Sir Conrad getting them on the mill. That's really the first thing. How are we doing on Mirror Maid? Is this worth playing? We've got this doesn't work, by the way. Like, if you, for those of you who don't know, if I create a Stone Coil Serpent with 5 counters, for example, and then I Mirror Maid it, my Mirror Maid dies as a 0/0. Because the way to think about copying things on the battlefield, a nice mnemonic, is you get what's in the sleeve. You don't get what you put on top of the sleeve. You don't get auras. You don't get counters of any kind. You get what's in the sleeve. So in this case, you get a 0/0. That being said, I'm just trying to figure out, oh yeah, I can take out dummy. So we get Folio that we can copy, a So Tiny, a Witching Well. I don't want to play this Henge Walker. We can copy a Ravens. That's an interesting copy. Is there anything else, though? I guess we can copy these, but you wouldn't really want to. So I guess the question is, do these 4 targets a mirror make? It might be too many. Sure, you're gonna have to tell me about it, though. I think there's a state of the beta article that I haven't read. Maybe I should wait till tomorrow after I digest it a little bit. Yeah, I think we can. You're right, though. We can certainly cut a monitor. Where does that leave us? We're at 917. Pretty low on creatures now. I think I want to keep the opt because of the Vandal, but it really starts pinching us on what we can really keep here. Yeah, egg is a cycle. That's fair. So this is kind of what's going on with that. But we're running out of room. Like, we're definitely have to, like, I guess we just cut a mystical dispute. It was playable, but not necessary. 2 more cuts. Yeah, Drown would have been solid in this deck for sure. We had good reasons for what we did, though. Yes, it does work with Charm Sleep. Yeah, I like maybe cutting the Noble, although I'm nervous about cutting more creatures. Let's see, what does that look like here? I'm going to go done, back in. Yeah, we could cut the fruit. That's a reasonable suggestion too. We have Golden Egg, Opt, Witching Well, and Into the Story all triggering, and Tome Raider all doing work with the Fairy Vandal, so it's not even like we need it so much for that. Yeah. Maybe if we go 6-0 Sunset, I will take 1 game off to try that plan. 39 islands plus Folio. Actually, 39 islands plus Folio, or 38 islands, Folio, and Mirror Maid, right? Yeah, we'll get to the land here. I think this looks good, though. I think we'll try this as a starting point anyway. And this is definitely too many swamps. The question is 7 or 6, really. Definitely starts here. But with an Epic Downfall that we want to cast, although we have an egg that was going to help with the double black, so that's an argument for going to 6. But Conrad is an argument for 7 because you're happy to get even 3 swamps with Conrad because then you can activate 3 times. So let's do this, and let's call it Miss Manners. All right. We can do a par poll if you want. I'm not loving this one, but it's just a little grindier than you really want these types of decks to be. You know what I mean? If we had more Secret Keepers, we'd feel much better about it. But here's a par poll for you. This is currently dead, which is why, you know, some people are saying, hey, this doesn't feel worth it to me. And of course, this is exact kind of drawback situation where if you don't have something useful to do with this, it's like nothing. But I'll keep. We have a Didn't Say Please. We have a mix of land and spells. Somewhere between 3 and 4, 3.5. 3.5 seems fair. Just glad Oppo hasn't pressured us yet. Their first play being on 3 is great for us, and their first play being a Heraldic Banner is even greater. Interesting. Was not expecting that. Oh, one of our swamps gone. We're going to draw a land. I want it to be a swamp at this point. Well, we're gonna didn't say just about anything they do. We could Mirror Maid their own Heraldic Banner if we want, But we don't have any black to cast yet, so we'll keep that in mind, that we could Mirror Maid this, but I don't think it's something we want to do just arbitrarily on that turn particularly. And yeah, let's counter that. Sleazy kind of shuts this down, but I'm not going to not counter here. All right, they're doing what we would expect. Looks like a draw 2 deck from Oppo. We got our Folio, that's pretty sweet. They're almost out of cards though, so not necessarily doing exactly what we want, but I think we go Folio, nothing else to do anyway. And then we have an Opt available. Oh, it would be 4 power, you're right. I wasn't thinking about the banner, so the Griffin would not have solved the lock problem. Good call. Yeah, I kind of want him to have a draw 3 deck. So we can cast Opt. We can also have each of us draw 1 and set up the milling. I think I like that, actually. All right, there's a swamp. There's a second swamp. Now we don't need... we're done on swamps. And we can Sleazy or get our Folio on. Let's see. To activate the Folio is 3. So maybe... put a pause in their draw. Activate during their draw. And then Opt this turn. Don't want to lose, don't want to fall behind and just get out raced, but eventually we'll be able to drop a Griffin. But I want to use the Folio on mill while their hand is pretty full. Yeah, and then we can get to the point of having 2 Folios and and mill them pretty quickly, but they could still race us depending on what they play. Nonetheless, we'll pass to their draw phase. And then activate. Got a good one in the alliance there. And just a lot of gasoline. No lands. Yeah, Visions was good. This will be a big play, though. If they can... Yeah, see, like, that's not a huge threat. The second point of power is turning it into a, whatever, the M20 Elemental with the banner here. Again, though, we gotta be careful. They're attacking for 4 a turn here. This is not... We don't just get to easy breezy mill them out. Got some work to do. Bacon to a Pie helps and maybe sets us up to follow through on our plan for Mirror Maid plus Mirror Maid on Folio here. But maybe we should just... We got Into the Story for cheap now as well. That's worth noting. One problem is that we can't really do 2 things here. Either we take a turn off from folioing to cast Griffin, Into the Story, or Pie, or we just do the Mirror Maid thing. And it is possible that Mirror Maid on Folio just causes them to scoop. I'm gonna go for this because their hand is gonna empty soon. And the Griffin plus the Pie really buy us some time when we start our next turn. And next turn we can Pie and activate one of the folios, for example. Really, what actually making a second folio doesn't matter too much yet. Maybe it helps us get there at the end, but I don't think we're going to be able to double activate like anytime super soon. That's fine. Still puts one back in their hand. I guess he gets one out. That's fair. But they still milled themselves to do it. They're at 10 cards. So yeah, maybe we can just win. Maybe the folios, the double folio's enough. That draws them a card. That's actually not great for them. That's pretty good. Getting them... What we can do is draw with one folio and mill with the other. That actually might get them dead faster. We just have to survive here. Currently we do. Unless they spring a pump spell on us, even taking all of this next turn isn't going to kill us. So let's figure this out. I can't make them draw, can I? No. All right, so if we save 3, we can make them draw 2, go to 5, and then mill 5. And then we go to 2, and then mill them again for the yeah, if they have a burn spell, like this is where we're at. 4, 5. We can also bake and still folio. Let's put a stop on draw step, though, and understand that, like, I don't think we're playing Griffin here. Griffin restricts what we can do too much. So let's folio, yeah, and leave bake open. I like that. Well, we can't bake, eat food, and force draw, right? That's too many things. I see. Well, they've killed one of their own creatures to pull off that maneuver. That seems okay to me. And it's leaving our bake mana on the auto pay, so that's nice. Now, here's the real question. So they're at 5. Yeah, I think if we just... But they might go... Well, they've self-killed a little bit. I'm going to double mill. By tinying their own creature, they've done what I was going to do with bake into a pie anywhere. The thing is, those of you talking about how we're setting up for a win next turn, what if they drop a land and then play both spells, right? Like, I guess then we set up still for the folio draw into folio mill. So I think we're getting there either way. I'm going to go ahead and double mill them here, though. Yeah, even that doesn't really do it. You can have our sleazy. I don't see how. I mean, I guess they could have the deal 4 burn spell. I guess that would be like the one thing. But this is what I was worried about. Like that, they can actually. But we just do this. And we 5, 6, 7, 8. So we draw 2. Okay, they're done. Slaying Fire. Yeah, that's what I was talking about. Yeah, there was any number of ways to do that one. That was a done deal in several ways. Well, there you go. No secrets there. Thanks, Razor. Appreciate the bits. Yeah, this looks good. Well, copy a well. Have ravens. How about Raven copy Raven? Well, it depends on what they do, but let's if it's the right matchup, Raven copying it could be excellent. We'll keep that serpent, but bin the swamp. Best of one, what gives? Sometimes we play best of one. I don't know, Robert. Where you been? Green is not what I want to see in terms of being an excellent revenge situation, but when you can make two, it does make it uphill even for a green deck. Not going to play the early serpent here. We could just make another witching well. Wouldn't be the absolute worst. And it would give us something to do on this turn. I don't want to make a serpent here. It just trades with a rider, which doesn't seem very exciting. If we make a mirror maid, we get a scry. Are we actually happy? Because the other thing is, like, they've got a rider out now. If they play any kind of threat on 3, what are we really doing here? Are we going nothing on 3, revenge on 4, after we've taken 3? They hit us for 3 again. We get 1 back, and we make mirror maid again, and then it gets difficult. Misery's End, what is Card Kingdom? Well, you should check out my affiliate link down in the panels below this stream on Twitch, and it'll take you to the Card Kingdom website. They are purveyors of physical Magic game stuff, everything you need. They're my sponsor. I love them. Yeah, I guess we should just try the Ravens plan. But if they come up with a big creature here, like, the Ravens plan is kind of dead. This is a big play here. Like, what do they do with 3? Squire could be a lot worse. Definitely, it could be a lot worse. And with Merfolk coming down to eventually block the rider, I do like following through on the Raven plan here. Yeah, 5/5 Serpent also does some work on this board, right? Maybe a 6/6 if we go... Next turn, if we can go Merfolk Mirror Maid. Never mind. All right, now I think we need to just go into... oh, we could do Raider. Actually, I'm going to do Raider Merfolk. I was going to do a 5/5 Serpent to try and control this board, but Raider can trade with a Rider and Merfolk with one of the Squires, and then we're in pretty solid shape. And it gives us 2 blockers. In fact, maybe we just monitor here. I'm going to monitor instead. Nothing to untap of relevance, but what this does is says this can now just eat the rider, so you can't really attack with that. And this plus this trades a raider for a squire, so you can't really attack with those. So hopefully we're stable. An out muscle, though, could change that. That's kind of the... Assuming mono green here, out muscle is our big scare card. And soon we're just going to get bigger than that. All right, they're coming in for it. Yeah, what are you doing? All right, yeah, then they did the math that I just did and came to the same conclusion, which is don't do that. Now we're gonna make a big serpent and try and hold here. Are we attacking? Yeah, I think we're attacking. They didn't show the ability to get through last turn. I'm going to assume they have a similar inability this turn until they prove otherwise. Yeah, it's funny that Pro Multicolored is proving relevant in against a monocolored deck, but that's hybrid mana for you. How do you even pump the snapper? Oh, like with... Wow. Oppo. 1 mana. Is there a 1 mana trick I'm not thinking of? I mean, this seems like a bad attack to me, but maybe they're just feeling desperate. I don't know what that was, other than a really ill-advised attack. Let's copy the well. I could copy a Hengewalker, but I think I just like more cards here. Bake is nice. We'll bottom that. I don't feel like we need to copy our creatures. We can't copy the Serpent to any effect, and copying this one is like whatever. Copying this one, similarly whatever. And I'll do this because they haven't shown... Like, we're just going to play the Merfolk. Again, they keep not showing us the ability to beat what we've got, so I'm going to keep coming in here. It's maybe a little greedy, but even an out muscle leaves us with a chump. Yeah, but I didn't want to copy a Corridor Monitor to untap a Serpent. I want more cards. We get Bake into a Pie on untap. I mean, maybe I shouldn't have done this attack just because Bake into a Pie really solidifies our advantage in this game. And I've really taken some risk here. Like, this is still okay. Still think that's ill-advised, but we will pass to blockers and I guess trade with... I guess this can get bigger than this, so it can become a 4/3. So we'll do that and this. Funny that my copy of Witching Well does not have the cool frame. I think that's funny. At 7 mana here, we could draw cards, but I think I'm just going to keep sending in the Serpent. Leave everything else back. If we need to chump with the Raider, that's fine. We can't. It copies artifacts and enchantments. Hey, Mensch. So, we're a virtual 8, and Oppo doesn't know it. We'll see what they do here. But what I'm figuring is going to happen is that we put Raider and Monitor on one of the Squires, and then we bake one of the other 3 powers and eat. And maybe they do a move here that feels like they can win the game. Ginger Brute, for example. Let's see. Don't worry, Worm, none of us read cards. Once in future, hopefully that's not enough, although the return to nature is bad news for our stone coil. We're going to have to overcome that once. We're definitely going to attack with a serpent next turn no matter what, because it's about to be picked off anyway. Yeah, good call. Oh, good, and they're even not attacking, so let's crack a well. Opt. Oh boy. Between Run Away Together and Bake into a Pie and Trample, I think we should just win on this turn unless they come up with a very prescient block here. Because this allows us to clear out 2 of the blockers that are going to try and prevent Stone Coil trample damage. So if they only block with 2... Okay, they are prescient enough there. All right, so now let's see. They came up with a good block. Makes me want to send the Raider back, and I guess we... saving the Serpent doesn't do too much because they then just kill it. To the point that I kind of just want to trade the Serpent. Like, we'll bounce 1. Or we don't even need to do that. Yeah, we can make them use their mana, but like they have, like, who knows what this is? They have the mana to do the 2 things we know about anyway. So then this doesn't really matter. They can't play Walker again. I can win here? I don't see the win. I think we... What is somebody saying that you can't... they can't replay the Hengewalker? I mean, they have 5 mana, and they might draw a 6th anyway. Anyway, I'm going to do this. Actually, you don't even need to do that is the thing. Might want the... I'm going to do it this way. I like this. I'm going to trade the thing they were going to take away from us anyway. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. If I replay the Raider... We play a land this turn? I wish I remembered if I played a land. Because it might be worth trying for a land. Okay, then I'm not gonna... We're gonna end the turn. We can bake and eat, or we can into the story, depending on how things go here. Yeah, I did. I wasn't too concerned about the damage. I feel like it's not going to come to that, but it might. I know it's roping, so I think if I had another minute without the rope, I would have figured out to get that other point of damage. But it shouldn't matter. Dirt sleep, but doesn't mean it wasn't suboptimal. I agree with that. All right, so now let's bake the Rider. Or we can just into the story too. Draw a crap ton of cards. Oh no, they got stuff back to get it out of range. Is that what happened? Huh. Wow, they got a lot of stuff out of their yard. So I will bake the 4-1 then. I'm gonna eat the food now. Use up all our mana there. Oh, now we have a nice didn't say please. Let's go for the Raider, though. So tiny is nice. Between these two, I like our spot. Gotta make sure we don't mill ourselves. We're pretty far away from self-milling. Yeah, if they want to use nature on the monitor, that's fine. We have the tools to either counter it or not worry about the fact that they have an attack. I forgot my furnace is on. Oh yeah, I thought they might do this too, which is fine. We'll just draw the cards and then still have the So Tiny. And I'll be right back. The furnace just stopped again, but I don't want to make sure it stays stopped. I'll be right back. Ooh, they got one of their own. Well, we'll have to tiny that and outrace the Ginger Brute. And I'm going to tiny it now, just to use all our mana. Thing is, I really need him to do something here. I want to cast Didn't Say Please so that the serpent stops being able to do damage. Thing is, we don't have really a block with Tome Raider, so I'm going to attack. We're gonna. Oh yeah, it has reach. Sorry, thank you. Forget the reach on that serpent all the time. But we really want him to cast something here. Very important. At least Into the Story is a backup plan on 7. Not the worst. Oh, perfect. Thank you so much, Oppo. And I understand. I would certainly try to do that as well. Well, I told the furnace not to come back on, but it hasn't learned the lesson yet, so that rumbling you hear is indeed still the furnace. But yeah, suddenly Ginger Brute's a real problem because we can't attack through the reach wall there. Where are they at? 19. We're not really close to decking them either, so... We've got to... What'd you call? Yeah, yeah, I guess I should story now in case there is, like, literally an answer. I don't know if there's an instant speed. I don't know if we have any more... Yeah, I knew we had Epic Downfall, but it's a sorcery. Conrad. Alright, we got a lot to do now. Still working on channel point stuff. Won't have anything on that for a bit, though. Well, I don't think it's going to work for him. 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. I think we definitely want Conrad down, so let's start there. And then, yeah, with 5 mana left over, we get Folio or Golden Egg with a Didn't Say Please up. We could also Epic Downfall. Oh, actually, it wouldn't work on this, would it? All right, let's do Folio and have Didn't Say ready. Yeah, CMC is 0, I think, on the snake. It's only... X is always 0 unless it's on the stack. Yeah, we downfall the Walker and swing for 1. Maybe that is correct. It's too late now, but I'll consider that next turn. I think we just kind of get him off Conrad activations, though. We are at a virtual 10 with the egg, so I'm just not worried about a single Ginger Brute getting there. And I'm going to Didn't Say Please. The mill actually works with Conrad if we mill creatures, so... Just so. Yeah. Oh, Conrad. Gingerbread pie. Funny. There you go. Life imitating art, I suppose. Come on, Furnace. Be done. I turned you off. Okay. Oppo's going to be annoyed by this one. Especially with us on the play. No, but Ginger Brute and Bacon to a Pie literally have art. A non-blue... no. I mean, part of the real power of Folio is getting it out on 2, and if you're splashing it, you're really not... That's not really happening as often as you want. Now we need to find a land, and then... We're in great shape, but we need a land. Land! Alright. Never didn't. I could Mirror Maid the Folio, but I'm going to focus on activating it while we can, while it's in a good spot. We'll see. Maybe they can dump their hand so that we have to change gears. But if we find another land, we get to So Tiny the Squire while still folioing. That seems quite good. Then maybe they have a destroy target enchantment. Although they could have done that during upkeep. Tactician. Sure. If they're preventing 1 mill and giving up their turn to do so, that's fine with me. Yeah, but they spent a turn to do it. I understand what they were doing, but it took them a full turn, so go for it. We are all about that. Yeah, let's just play a Secret Keeper, and then we have Runaway together. Well, I'm going to go ahead and set the stop again. Yeah, if they didn't have a play, then it makes perfect sense. It could be exactly what they had to do. Folio on 2, fair card. I'm out of coffee. Give me a moment. I'm going to go refill my bean juice and be right back. Sorry about that. I don't think the overlay shows deck size. We don't have the swamps yet, but we have Witching Well to help us scry and find them, and Mirror Maid to do it again if we need, so we're going to keep this. Hey, Nantuko. Good time zone. Oppo has mulliganed. Well, it should stay off for good now. It finally... I forgot that it was on. I went and turned it off, but there was a lag between turning down the heat and the furnace giving it up. I'm going to be greedy and not keep the island, but I'm going to keep the merfolk as something to do on 2. Mike wants to bottom both. But what did they play? We don't know what they're playing, Mike. I mean, kind of the point of the merfolk is to come down on 2. I kind of like keeping it for that. Mike wants to bottom both. Anybody else want to bottom both? Or anybody else is keeping the merfolk with me? I'm going to keep the merfolk. I hear you, Mike. It's not an exciting card, but it's at its best on 2, so I'm going to keep it. And it looks like it might pay off for us because this is a pretty aggro color. Turn down the heat, Sunset, or turn up? We asked our landlord to turn down the heat in our apartment. Then you said you're wearing layers, so that doesn't track. I'm not sure which. I'm gonna go ahead and Mirror Maid the Well. Sets up our draw. We need to find some black. We need to find some... Yeah, swamps are what we're looking for here. They're not swamps, but they both draw a card, and they're both castable. Is it worth keeping the opt because it gives us another chance at a swamp next turn? Like we get to look too deep? I think we bin the Raider and keep the opt. Mike wants to bottom opt. I'm bottoming Raider, keeping opt. It lets us, it gives us 2 shots at finding a swamp next turn. It's true if we put bottom both and just found land naturally on top, we have 2 wells to crack, and that certainly helps us find swamps, but I'm okay with this. Do we risk a draw here? Probably not. I mean... too early to call the bluff. Also, there was pausing there. All right. Our merfolk eating a premium removal spell is okay by me. Now let's opt our way. I don't think always call is the correct line, though. I really don't. It's a reasonable default, but you got to think it through. I'm going to put full control on and at least threaten a counterspell here. Make him think we got something at instant speed, even though we don't. I don't do that too much these days, but I think it's worth throwing in little bluffs like that. What'd we lose? DSP and Vandal. I was looking at my graveyard and missed their scry. What did they do with their scry? Top, okay. Monitor. Yeah, we're gonna have to crack a well here. Look for more swamps. And doing it main phase to play a land. All right. Yeah, we'll mill here, take another smack from these two, and then have a pretty good blocker. And another pretty good blocker. Yeah, let's see what they kept on top, huh? Ah, they really want the first card down. We got their runaway together, and presumably they have some sweet card in their hand right now. The robber. All right. Well, at least we know they've got a counter. We've got a Conrad, though, and a Secret Keeper. So let's do Conrad Keeper. And have them show us what they got. Ooh, boy. They got the barrage for Conrad. That really sucks. And puts us in a back against the wall spot. We're not dead yet, but that's rough. Ooh, runaway together could help. Let's see. With 6 mana, though, we're going to we have nothing to downfall here. But we can do Monitor and then have Runaway Together available, plus Well available. You want the Griffin? I guess the Griffin does some better blocking work, but I like keeping this stuff open. Yeah, I have to consider the attack potentially blanking the Runaway Together. Okay, well, they've given up their ability to counter here unless they play a land. Yeah, that's why I did this instead of the Griffin, Mike. I feel like we have block, bounce at the ready. They do have our Didn't Say Please is going to become castable by them if we let the robber attack. Is there any other? So let's do this now. Didn't Say Please is not online yet. It will be if we let them attack. So I'm not going to let them. We'll do this. Then they have an attack for 1, but that's totally manageable. It's not there. Did I screw it up? Okay, it's not. Yeah, we waited until the right time. If we had done it in their first main, they could just replay it. But since we waited until beginning of combat, they could not. All right, we got a didn't say for their didn't say. Wish we had land there. Would like to sleazy with better backup. We could mill. We could mill Secret Keep and have DSP up, but I think we're now at Griffin time, huh? Let's do this and tack on a mill. We only got a couple cards. Man, Barrage was perfect. All right, taking our first loss. One of those spots where Oppo just had all the right tools up to the very end. We just needed a little bit of a break. Little break in any of that sequencing, and we could have stabilized, but they had something every turn to kind of undo what we'd been doing. But our first loss, we're 3-1. People were thinking this was a 3 or 4 win deck anyway, so we are 1 win away from clearing par. No guarantees. Could easily lose 2 straight, but we're going to try and get at least 1 more here. Yeah, Mike, I was surprised they went with the robber. They could have just played the merchant and then hastied the robber. All right, we get another turn 2 folio. See if we can punish them. Oh, they're going first, though. That's not fair. We have to do turn 2 folio on the draw. Is there a card in Eldraine that you want to play with but have not gotten the chance to yet? You mean in Limited? Yeah, there's a bunch of mythics I think would be fun to play with. I haven't played with most of the mythics. Getting Garrick on my side would be fun. Did I have Garrick once? Maybe I did. I can't remember. It's been if I ever had Garrick, it's been a long time, and he wasn't that impactful in the games that played out. Brutal. Embercleave, never drawing it is pretty rough. I think I had Garrick in a sealed. That's how long ago it was. Man, I wasn't kidding. Like, you know, I was kidding, but like the difference between folio on 2 on the draw versus the play is tremendous. They are depleting their hand fast enough here that we actually just need to play the Tome Raider and hope to prevent the Rider from wrecking us. I'm definitely on that over milling them for 4. We're just taking too much damage in that world. Well, let's make him Cauldron at least, right? I mean, it uses up their whole turn, buys us a little time. And then we can... I like Fairy Vandal at instant speed, just trading for the Rider after this. But at this point, we're trying to control the board to get to a position where we can folio into mill. Huh. Well, that's pretty good for them in this spot, gotta say. those creatures being bigger is super annoying. Well, I'm going to take it all here so that we can at least threaten to bring in the Vandal for the double play. But we're going to take this for now. Serpent is a fine looking draw. If we play it now, what can we downfall? What do they have? Oh, we can downfall our own Raider. That's what we can downfall. So yeah, Vandal plus draw one is an interesting line, Mike. It still ends up trading off the Vandal, but you're probably right. That's the place to be. And then we try Serpent on 5 next turn. We're just setting up to force their hand on Cauldron. Oh shoot, you're right. I was thinking second draw. It's not going to do what I want. I don't think it really matters, though. You're right. But I also don't think the difference with this as a 1-2 versus a 2-3, what's the difference? I guess it what does it do for us differently in this situation? But it's going to be a Cauldron. They trade the Cauldron for it anyway, is my point. It's never going to happen. Whether this is a 1-2 or a 2-3, it gets Cauldroned, is my point. Yeah, they would, because we would double block Raider. We double block Raider and... Okay. See, now we get to make him do it. Yeah, I might have to copy all that glitters and get something... But anyway, we'll do this now. What we're looking for now is our run away together. And yes, they have the Cauldron to destroy this double block, but again, they would have had it anyway, and I want to make him use the Cauldron. Takes the Curious Pair down a notch. 7 mana, 7 toughness is still pretty big, but we actually could get to the point where the power is low enough that we can create a Serpent that can bounce with it for a little bit. And we're definitely going to draw because we have to find... Yeah, now the Serpent... Now it already happened. Sorry, yeah. That's good. That's good. 4/7 we can deal with. But we'll draw. Conrad is interesting, but right now loses to the Curious Pair, so we're going to start with the 5/5 Serpent. See what Oppo can do about this. Yeah, I'm not expecting to get the same value from Glitter as Oppo. But they're down to 2 cards. If this Serpent can live till we untap, we're probably in good, stable shape, ready to get our end game on. But if they can mess with our Serpent, we're in the deepest of troubles. This is what Magic comes down to a lot, right? Is this a stabilization play, or do we lose this creature and we're just dead? Well, we can't not block. This is really bad for us, but we can't not block. So we're going to block the Rider. And at least make them use some pump or something. If they have... Oh, just gonna... All right. Now out muscle or something? What is that? What was this about? Wicked Wolf. That's what it was about. Oppo's got some good stuff going on, but they should be out of food here, and we can Epic Downfall the Wicked Wolf and still be okay here. I'm assuming they're going to eat the food. Oh yeah, good point. Don't even need to worry about the effect there, but definitely Epic Downfalling right now. Unfortunately, that leaves us with nothing to do except copy the folio or activate the folio. We're at 7. What does copying the folio do? Not much. Yeah, we'll pass. I don't think we want to copy provisions yet either. If these are weak cards, or weak or blank, you know, lands or whatever, we're still in okay shape. Yeah, we're going to draw 2, although in a sense we have tools here. We might not want to give them more ways to get through. All right, with that, like now we really need to consider whether we bother drawing, because we can play the Griffin, play Conrad to stall the ground, and then play Griffin to stall the air. And if we draw cards, we might just give them the tools to get through. So I don't want to give them cards now that they've shown their whole hand. I still don't like the provisions. It's a little bit results oriented there, Townick. I think Dominaria is up there for my favorite Magic sets. All right, now with 7 mana, we can just Conrad or Griffin. Can't do everything we want to do, so we're going to Conrad here. Have I played Unstable? Now this could be a problem, because if they do find an enchantment or artifact off the top, the Curious Pair gets to deathly levels with Conrad. That would be really bad. So we really have to hope that they don't find something to increase the glitter. I still, yeah, again, I don't want to mill. I want to, yeah, Conrad can mill anytime. I don't know why we want to mill on the draw, unless you're talking about Folio, but Folio can't mill for 2. That's great. All right, so step 1, they didn't have the thing to make the Curious Pair bigger. Playing all the lands we get. Now we can Griffin and Folio if we want. We could mirror the glitter now, and it would give us +2/+2. And we could also just increase our toughness now and get a 5/5 and a 2/5. We can't glitter the flyer. Oh, you want to glitter our flyer. Yeah. absolutely. Just deciding if we want to glitter, copy the glitter or copy the provisions. Getting some food wouldn't suck. Getting us out of 2 life, getting to 5 life would be okay. And provision actually might be best here because it gives both creatures a plus to toughness. And it gives us that food. Interesting. And we have other... Yeah, this is a very interesting one. I'm going to do glitter to have some aggression. Wait, where... Oh, attach. Yes, we're going to attach it here. It was a very close one. But this can get bigger, and it creates a... Well, no, I timed out and then was down to my last one. It wasn't that close. Cereal. The hat's really rough. I think we just lost. So we need, like, into the story, into So Tinies or something like that. Didn't say please is all well and good, but not what we need. No, I'm going to do this looking for So Tiny. Doesn't? Or because they're not low enough here. Yeah, maybe that doesn't... So we need bake. So we need bake into a pie. Right? We didn't use it yet, right? So 1, 2, 1, 2. We're gonna draw. Although bake is instant, so we can wait till their attack. Sure. Let's have their land make this even worse for us. You gotta be kidding me. All right, we tried. Still, bake still works. If we bake the Curious Pair, this falls back to blockable levels, right? I think. So let's try. Yeah, Runaway Together could have done something, but that does nothing. All right. Sometimes you start 3-0 and then end up 3-2. Deck's not that bad, Fenor. Surprised you're... I mean, we started at 3-0. This deck's got some tools. Fenor thinks this deck is so bad. So bad. Disagree. Yeah, I'm not saying it's amazing. I just don't think it's actively bad. It has the card quality is too high. Yeah, I was thinking about the opt angle again, but we're just going to go down, down. Hate to lose the downfall, but so it goes. Easy monitor here over the Wishful Merfolk as it stone blocks the Youthful Knight unless they've got some tricks. Still need ourselves an island to turn on the DSP. If they attack, it's almost certainly a trick, in which case I might just take it in hopes that we find an island, because a lot of the tricks that white deck shows are adventure creatures, and it's really excellent to counter adventure creatures. All right, we even found our blue. We could play a Merfolk or whatever, but again, I like... Didn't say please up against possible combat tricks here. I think if they had combat tricks, though, they would have just gone for it there. Really, though, we're just going to DSP anything they do. Try to march towards a Griffin and a nice Serpent. No memes yet, no. Like I said, just kind of countering because we can on our turn. Get the mill going. What they? All right. That guy's pretty good. We can draw cards or make a 4/4. Since the monitor seems to be holding off the Youthful Knight, we will just draw 2. Make sure we find our 5th land for Griffin or Sir Conrad. Flutterfox. Nice. All right. Well, we're going to drop a Griffin, try and hold the air. Make him use removal and good stuff on something other than our Serpent and our Conrad. Going aggro. All right. That's okay for us. They get in a good smack here, but we're at 20. We've got pie. Serpent's going to have reach. We're going to go there next, I think. Save Conrad for the end. All right. Well, they do have the ability to tap the Serpent, so that's a real problem. We might, but they can't tap both the Griffin and the Serpent. And the Griffin threatens to eat the Shine Chaser, so they have an attack for these 2, and they get in for 2 only. We can handle them getting in for 2, and basically needing to control the Serpent every turn in order to do anything from here. So, yeah, like I almost attacked into a Serpent against Oppo. So you're right. It's possible we just end up eating a flyer anyway. But let's see. Yeah, 4/4 with Runaway up, another reasonable play. I like, if we find another land, we get Sir Conrad with Runaway together up, and then we can save Conrad in case of unpleasantness, although not sure what really does, like, locking Conrad into a tower is decent because we can't activate him anymore, but we still get the passive effect of dead creatures and stuff. Uh-oh. Yeah, all right, they remembered. No secret reach. And they get exactly the attack we knew they would have, but then we get to untap with some good tools. Maybe we'll save, ooh, Mirror Maid, let's see. We can get this, we can get the wheel. With 6 mana, though, just having Bake and Run Away seems pretty good. Although we don't really love running away any of these. We could also Merfolk and have Bake up, but I think just having Bake Run Away is fine. Yeah, it's true. Getting more mana wouldn't be the worst. Getting that wheel, and we could still Bake. Maybe that's a good call, J-Watt. All right, let's do that. I'm in. Yeah, I think being able to tap could come in handy for us eventually. Wow, they're not pulling back Shine Chaser, huh? Must have a So Tiny? Feels like a So Tiny situation. So let's go ahead and make them do that. And then we can have a good thing to run away together. And we'll send back their Fox to take the counter off of it. Yeah, just replay Griffin here. You could even attack with the corridor monitor. I'll do that. Why not? I guess we go Griffin and Merfolk. We're not really looting or anything. Merfolk would be a reasonable thing to loot away, but why not race with Serpent? J-Watt, I like the fact that right now they can't really do anything except tap the Serpent. If we attack with a Serpent, then they get a turn to attack in for damage and play other stuff from their hand. It's not the worst line. I just, this feels like a pretty, you know, if we don't attack with it, it says Oppo spends 6 mana every turn. The monitor was blanking the knight, but the Griffin blanks it just as well. Like, they weren't going to attack with it, was my feeling, and they didn't. With Conrad, though, now I'm ready. I think now you're maybe right, J. Watt, that we could consider racing now. We get to throw down another chumper. We can throw Conrad down. 4, 5, 6, 7. 4, 5. We can't Raider and Conrad, but if we Raider and find a land, we can. Let's start there. I'm gonna do Raider. See what we find. Fairy Vandal is not a land. Well, we could just race with the. We could attack with a Griffin here. Yeah, I'll attack with the Serpent now. If they decide to get frisky and triple block, it's not good for them. The pro color, they can't even. Never mind. Yeah, it's protection from, so. Mike likes swing both. I was a little cowardly and kept a Griffin back. I mean, we're 11 life. They can tap and have a pretty big attack if we didn't keep the Griffin back. That was my thinking. I don't know. I think you're ascribing actions from Oppo that are far from guaranteed, Fenor. If they just take it, then suddenly we could be behind in the race. Another Youthful Knight. I think I like saving. I think we can get him with a. Eventually, they're gonna. Oh, there's who called Emery. Very good call. Very good call. What does that have? 17. Well, you got a pretty good deck here. Let's pass to attackers, see what they want to do, and then make our decisions. Yeah, if we don't bake, we can draw a bunch. That's a nice backup plan now. Yeah, we get a nice heavy draw. Although we could Vandal first, and then the draw makes the Vandal big. That seems worth it here. We could draw a bunch of cards, but I like playing the Vandal so we can make it big. 2/3 flyer is so much different than a 1/2 flyer on this board. Yeah, weapon rack is pretty crusty for us, so I guess... Man, I don't like sending in the Serpent now. Because now if we send in Serpent, they do have blocks that are awkward, and we really want to use this bake on Emery. We can do both, but I'm just saying we have to bake the Emery, and that makes attacking with the Serpent less interesting to me. Well, I guess the question, Fenor, is if we do that play... and we, quote, blow them out, is that enough to overcome the Emery combos? It is pretty good. All right. This is a tough call, but this is... the rack is pretty slow, so I'm going to go with Fenor and see what they want to do here. I think Fenor's right. If they give us a blowout here, then this ends up being worth it, I think. All right, we're gonna try. And we can even into the story for a surprise larger Vandal. And then we maybe start tapping with the wheel, and then we should get there. Fëanor is ratified, justified. What's the word I'm looking for? Vindicated is the word I was looking for. Fëanor is vindicated. All right, got to 4 wins, cleared par. Let's find our bombs and push it over the top. Awkward. We do have 10 islands. Oppo is going first. And we have one of our better cards in hand. But, like, if we had an island on top... Also, we have... It didn't say... We have 2 double blues. I think we had to mull this one. You know I'm pretty greedy, so I look for reasons to keep. But Conrad is no guarantee, because we still need 3 lands. This is one of those spots where we're asking too much from this hand to be good, so we're going to mulligan. This is way keepable. And I think I'm going to ditch the corridor monitor. If we end up against aggro, we might wish we had this monitor, but I think Well sets us up for a draw, and then if we can just get a couple more lands, the Serpent and the Griffin are really, really nice. The only other option, I think, is to ditch the Griffin. Griffin might be a little safer. East wants to ditch Griffin. Anybody else have opinions? I think it's definitely Monitor or Griffin. I think I'm changing my mind. Yeah, let's get rid of the Griff. Monitor might be underwhelming if it's not an aggro matchup, but we could be really happy that we have the Monitor. I'm not going to keep land at this point. We'll keep a DSP for turn 3. I think we'll be good. That Scry was nice. We have a Witching Well to draw a couple cards. Got a very nice Serpent here. And what do you know? Like, what is perfect against a Youthful Knight? Well, a Corridor Monitor. Oppo tapping out in their main phase and having it not speed through definitely means a Stonecoil Serpent. A small tell, but one worth considering. I guess this could be an outflank, but I don't know what to do. Maybe we take this and then counter the outflank next turn. This really seems like an outflank. I'm going to take it. This monitor is turning out to be just super important to the point that I'm willing to play around an outflank to keep it alive. I want him to use outflank now, and I want to didn't say please it. Well, I'm going to didn't say please that. We need those cards. And the outflank at least can't get us this turn. Whoa, 2 Inspiring Veterans. Glad we got that milled. Considering Serpent on 4 versus drawing cards here. Did they pause? I didn't notice my own advice if they paused with a tapped out hand. We're at 15. If we draw, we get Serpent on 5 for sure. Yeah, I was talking about my own main. We could also just draw 1, play the Raider. Let's do that, and then I'm going to play the Raider. Oh, yeah, I should have... With Tiny, I should have absolutely forced that... and Secret Keeper. Gah. Auto tap. Didn't think through auto tap. That was my fault, though. You can shake your fist at auto tap, but ultimately we have to be arena players and think about that as we cast our spells. But this should really tell us about the outflank, because if they don't ship the veteran, they don't have outflank. If they do, they almost certainly do. Okay, so they almost certainly do. And they can't kill it all, right? So I guess we still double block, and they only get 1 of these. And then we untap and have a 5/5 Serpent. But we're going to make him do something here. Certainly it's not going to be a dead veteran, but we're going to use spells from their hand and try and set ourselves up next turn. All right, we got the outflank out, and now we hope that the Serpent is enough. Run away together, interesting, but we'll get back to you. Right now we're on 5/5 Serpent plan. Trapped in a tower would be bad news, but we have run away together to rescue anything that gets trapped. All right, what are we doing? How about we crack the well, we can find a land and have a nice runaway together, but I think we want the Secret Keeper out for that. What if we... I'm going to start with an egg. And then Secret Keeper, mill. And they didn't show the this is concerning. So maybe we should hold run. What is this? But really want to run away the Secret Keeper, but I'll hold it. I don't think they will, but if they do, we have a good plan. Yeah, we're telegraphing a bit, having not played the Keeper, but still think this is way correct. And we'll just run away as needed. Yeah, Silver Flame, etc. Silver Flame would be great because we can bounce the thing they, presumably the Errant, and then they lose the, they fizzle the Silver Flame. So we're gonna do this. Another outflank. The other thing we can do is just let this trade happen. Is that worth it? Do we just want to let the Serpent die? What does that do for us? No, Serpent's too valuable. Fenrir wants to take the trade. I want to replay the Serpent. Ooh, that's an interesting call. Let's see. Wait. If we cancel, then it becomes 3. It still kills it, though. No, it still trades. Doesn't it still trades, and I don't want to lose the serpent. We'll do this. Now, hopefully, they're out of outflanks, out of removal. And if they're out of removal, we're in a really nice spot. If they're not out of removal, we could easily be deaders. But I'm going to go ahead and cash all of this in for a big 6/6, and then try and stabilize with this. Again, this has happened before. Like, if this 6/6 lives, we've stabilized and are in great shape. If they have the tower or another outflank, we are in bad shape. Let's see what happens. All right, Thrill's okay. All right. That's pretty stable feeling. Now we're gonna play this Keeper. I guess we might want to use this for food. So maybe I don't play the Keeper right now. Yeah, I'm just going to say no attacks, and yeah, Keeper Crackwell was certainly another possible play. I'm going for the big into the story play here, but we'll see how that works out. Well, now we know what we got to deal with. Actually, this stonewalls that too. Serpent has been the MVP of this deck. Yeah, I probably should have. Revenge, not bad here. Let's see. 5, 6, 7, 8 mana. We want the didn't say please, so we really only have 5 left. And so we can go Secret Keeper, Revenge, and hold up didn't say. Now I feel pretty secure, because we just had to protect our Serpent with didn't say please, and we should be able to grind him out. Oh, there's definitely more telling didn't say pleases, because at least they don't know what's in our hand. Alright, let's drop a folio. Maybe they'll just scoop to that. Yeah, the Secret Keeper lingering in your exile is your big clue. But now we have double didn't say if needed. I feel pretty good about this one now. I think we turned the corner and are well protected. They're at 14 cards. We can start drawing for both of us. I think we'll start with the well draw. Folio is, you don't even need to worry about that. So let's do this. And even this. We can just start milling them. I don't think we need to give them more ammo. We've got great tools to survive now. 12 cards. Yeah, I think we got this. End of turn, draw 5, and then mill 6, and then they draw their last card. Woof, so many ways to approach this. We could try to wait till they get to their draw phase and just get them all. But yeah, we can Conrad and mill and still do the mill. So let's do 1, 2, 3, Conrad. Yeah, I think we just got there because Conrad allows us to mill 2, so we just got to make sure we don't use up all of our black or anything. They're down to their last card. Wow, Conrad rips them apart. But the main thing is they're down to 1 card and we win. With 1 more point to add insult. I don't think there's anything in red-white that allows restacking of deck. All right, nice. Climbed up to the old 5-win plateau. I'll make a note of this gem for the grind in our spreadsheet. Yeah, they could have emptied their hand a little bit and not died that turn, right? I don't know why they didn't. But we got there. I need a little bio break after 2 16-ounce coffees, but I'll be right back, and then we'll try and get 2 more wins out of this thing. Be right back. Hey there. Stream Decker's just always on, mama. Well, the second cup wasn't completely full. It's probably more like 24 ounces of coffee. Maybe I should run ad breaks. They're not worth that much, though. It's the thing. But if I'm going off to the bathroom anyway, I might as well, I suppose. Yeah, we can keep this. We don't have anything on 2 right now that we can do, realistically. But I guess on 2 we could... It's not instant. Never mind. Yeah, we don't have anything to do until 3, but we're going to keep. We got Conrad. We got both sides of our mana. Looks good. What a jerk. Can you believe that? A-hole? Some people. Well, let's see who's got the better mill deck. I'm glad we found Didn't Say Please and that they didn't do anything on 3, although they're probably just holding a Didn't Say Please of their own. So now we're in Didn't Say Please battle. Might have to play Conrad on 8, where we play him with Didn't Say Please backup. Or we could just Didn't Say Please that. Do we care, though? I don't know if we care about that Tome Raider. Feel like if we were about to untap and play our 5th land, I would snap this off because we would just get the certain Conrad. But it denies them a draw. I want to use the mana and deny him a draw. It's not a very exciting thing to DSP, but... Fair enough, Oppo. Fair enough. We're going to have to try and resolve a Conrad, and if he doesn't stand, we're probably just going to lose. Our cards right now are worse than theirs if they can counter our Conrad. Not using a So Tiny on the Tome Raider at this point. $19 to their $24 currently, but yeah. They got the DSP mana. We could throw a So Tiny out there to see if there's a pause, to feel out for a pause, since nothing here creates one. It's really kind of weak. I'm going to do it. I don't know if it changes me trying the Conrad, though, is the thing. I guess it would. We're building up mana. We can get to a point of Conrad, maybe find another Didn't Say Please. So I'm going to do this partly to just feel out for pauses. Yeah, see, check out that pause. That's a DSP. So I'm going to be patient. Well, now it's a DSP. All right, I think Oppo got us here. Like, we had the kind of initial thumb wrestle here, but they've taken the advantage. We're going to start... We'll play the Witching Well. If they DSP here, we're going to Conrad. All right, well... I like both of these with where we're at. Forcing, you know, kind of getting to the bottom of their DSPs. But I think we just have to try Conrad now, then. That was risky. I mean, if they had DSP, we mill the good stuff we kept on top. But, and they're going to mill us anyway. Yeah. MC, it didn't feel like DSP anymore after they let the well go. But now we're kind of just screwed. Oh, well. We can make him choose. Like, can we win off of Folio? Or do we need to... Like, which do they want to counter? We're only at 12. They're at 23. It's a long way to go. Fenner, the deck is not as bad as you're making it out to be. This deck is fine. It's fine. I think we go Folio. Well, then they just get to choose. All right, let's have them counter Conrad. They're just going to mill it. We're going down to 9 cards here, though. Whoa. Okay. Then we're not going to Folio. They must have... this other card must be a Conrad answer. I don't think they would have let that go. Yeah, Fenor, I just don't buy it. I don't believe they let Conrad resolve with no answers and nothing to do. Maybe they just feel like we're milling ourselves faster so they can let Conrad happen. Maybe that's a good point. We're not racing them on that. Let's see what's in the rest of our deck. We have Corridor Monitor, Wishful Merfolk, Didn't Say Please, Mirror Maid, Tome Raider, and Land. Yikes, that is a rough menagerie of cards to try and win a game with. Yeah, this folio is our only hope, and I don't think we're going to get him to do it. Yeah, maybe we just attack with Conrad. New game plan, right? I like it, Rollock. Like, what are you going to do? See if attack Conrad gets there. They have 21, we have 10. So we're not going to win on the mill plan. We just have to hopefully prevent them. I don't want to kill a keeper. Why? Like, the thing with keepers is that they end up running away, running them back. And let's see, is it because we could draw, but what does drawing these cards do for us? If we draw Mirror Maid, that doesn't do anything. Yeah, like none of this does anything. I don't know how to fake it. I mean, they're just going to be nervous about it, but I don't know how you fake it. Do we have a DSP left? Yes, we do have one DSP that I would like to draw. That could be a reason to Witching Well. If we have to do that, we can. Like Witching Well, trying to find the DSP. That's not hyper relevant. Yeah, I was surprised they were blocking with a keeper. You kind of just want to block. You want to keep your keepers around for further runaway togethers. Yeah, monitor is, but we're not playing into the DSP. We're just going to try and get there with Conrad. Okay. Can't stop that. 4, 5, 6, 7. We only have 3 if we crack this. Can't. Yeah, like we're gonna. But Folio, I don't think wins in time. So we get milled down to 4, and then we have somehow 4 turns to win with Folio when they're at 18. I just don't think that's realistic. But maybe we can Mirror Maid. Still, we have to do that. We have to let that happen. 4, 5, 6, 7. We play Conrad, and then we. Well, we'll try. I think it's game, but we'll try. Wow, they're still letting that go. Okay. I don't know why they're not countering that. They must have maybe more Conrad tools? I don't know why they're letting Conrad keep doing his thing. There you go, that's why. They had this coming. But still, 7 cards. If they don't mill us further, we're not a lost cause here. Now we might be a lost cause. Anar didn't say please. Well, fitting that we ended our run against another mill deck that actually managed to find Secret Keepers. I mean, that was the difference of this. Like, I still think this deck is much better than, like, Fenor is suggesting, but we got one Keeper. If we even got two more, this deck would have been excellent. That's a good call. Yeah, they're just playing around forever young. Oh, I'm going to show, we're going to do still had all these. Still had all these, Oppo. You got lucky. Things play out in a different order. But they didn't. Happy to get 5, though. Okay, I'll draft for an off-air play if you guys want. Love the 5-win threshold. Getting to 650 gems feels great. We ended up grinding 80 total gems because we got some from a random card reward. And basically it puts us, we only lost 20 gems on the whole deal. You do a lot.